Alright, I'm back. Let me get my shit right. I don't even know if any of this stuff is working. Well, only one way to find out. And off we go. Alright, this is just gonna be a quick video. This is actually my first motovlog. I currently have a GoPro Hero 7 Black, chin mounted. Alright, SENA 30K. And what I actually did in order to get all this to work is I spliced in a 3.5mm audio cable to run it into the GoPro adapter, so that way I don't have to run multiple microphones in my helmet. I spliced in the adapter and then reconnected the plug for the SENA mic back on, so that I can plug it into the SENA headset so that I can talk to my wife when we ride. And I also spliced in a secondary mic that I put near the earpiece, so that way you can hear the comm. So get a little dual vlog going on. She normally rides with me, but she's not feeling well today, so she stayed home. And this is like an initial test. I hope the sound isn't bad. When I tested it inside the house using the various settings, the standard mic, or the standard mic, standard plus, powered mic, and powered plus, I believe that's what they're called. You had some static in the background, and I'm hoping that I can edit that out somehow, or figure out how to get it to stop. I'll do a more detailed description of how I did all this. It wasn't my initial idea. I actually saw another video where a guy named, I believe it's Dustin Blanchard, he did the splice of the mic and ran it to his SENA. I don't believe he reconnected the power cable end of it. He doesn't ride he doesn't ride bikes. He flies these, I think they're called paramours or paragliders or something like that. I'm not sure, but I'll link his info into the description on this video. So bear with me. I'm new to all this. I'm new to riding. I've only had my license since July. This is my first ever bike. The first bike I ever rode was the one at the MSF course in July. So have a little patience with the choppiness, the periodic moments of silence, because I'm focusing in on not getting smoked by one of these vehicles out here, and just trying to enjoy myself, really. But I'll do a much more in-depth video on how I was able to set this all up in case anyone's interested, so that way you don't have to run multiple microphones into your helmet. I was gonna do the whole, mic for the GoPro, and then mic, SENA mic, and then the mic with the, next to the earpiece, so that you can get the comm. But I didn't really want all that additional shit in my helmet. So I started poking around, and that's when I found that dude's video. And I have I got the 30K dual pack, and you get a bunch of extra stuff in there, a couple extra microphones and whatnot. So instead of using the wired, the boom mic, I used the wired mic. The boom mic was the one I was using predominantly. So in case I screwed this up, I still had my my normal mic. I screwed up the first wired boom and had to use the one that I planned on using for my wife's setup on this one. And now I got to go back and get another accessories kit to get another mic. So But it was a learning experience. I know what to do now. I've never soldered anything in my life. That was the first time I ever soldered anything. And the first 2 tries, man, I was ready to pack it up and just say, fuck it, I'm gonna run all these extra mics and shit. But I really wanted to be cognizant of everything I was putting into this helmet, not just for me, but for my wife, and try to make it as clean of an install as possible. So I just kept pressing on, and I was able to manage to figure out how to do it, and I did it. At least I hope, because if this doesn't work, then I'm gonna be devastated. Woo. Now, I don't know what else to say. That's really it, man. I'm just gonna ride around here. Hopefully you guys enjoy the view a little bit. I hope you can see some of the bike and not just either the ground or just the sky. Like I said, man, I'm pretty new to all this, and I'm just, you know, trying to start a channel. The main focus of my channel isn't for the purpose of just moto vlogging, period. This is something that my wife has been wanting to do, which is, you know, riding a motorcycle, and I finally got on board, and I thought it'd be cool for us to start a video journal of our adventures together, you know, see our progress from, you know, where we started to where we are now. So this is unfortunately going to be the start of it. I wish I would have started it sooner, you know, like when we started the classes and whatnot, but the idea didn't really occur to me until later on. I started the video making progress on my phone, thanks to Dickwad, but I started the video making progress on my process on my phone the day we bought her bike. That was the first day I decided, you know what, this is going to be the start of our video log of this new chapter that we've decided to open in our life. And so far it's been a lot of fun, man. It's been I enjoyed every minute of it. It can be a little nerve-wracking. So for those of you out there who are thinking about doing it, take the class first to see if you enjoy it. That's what I did. Took a class at a Harley-Davidson dealership and had a lot more fun than I thought I was going to. And I got to learn some stuff, which was cool. So it was definitely worth it. Definitely worth the money that we spent, the time that we had in it, and it really solidified the fact of whether or not I wanted to do this, and I did. So there you have it. Got to reposition my mirrors. I changed out my grips and had to do some modifications to the stock setup. And I haven't been able to get my mirrors in the proper position since. I mean, I can still see out of them, but they're not exactly where I want them. As you can see, you can tell that I'm still fairly new at this riding thing, and so all you know, experienced riders out there, and you know, share some tips and advice. Anything that you see that I could do better, feel free to let me know. And that's another reason why I wanted to start this channel. A lot of the moto vloggers, man, they've been riding for a long time, man, and somebody getting into motorcycling, that can be a bit intimidating, because you see, at least for me it was, you know what I mean, you see all these guys and girls out there riding around on these gorgeous bikes and having a blast and talking to, you know, making videos, and you're like, man, that looks like a lot of fun, but I don't know if I got the skills to do it. Well, everybody started somewhere. So what I wanted to do with my channel is vlog my wife's and I's progression as riders, or maturation, if you will, as riders. And that way, you know, somebody that's new and wants to get into riding has a place to go to be like, you know what? Yeah, look at them. They make mistakes. Now, look at them. They're, you know, they're learning from them. They're practicing, and we do practice, which is important. And I plan on taking you guys along and gals along for the ride when my wife and I go and hit the MSF range on base. Woo! Damn, I love this bike, dude. I really do. It is so much fun, and it's a badass looking bike. I've done a couple things to it, nothing major. Changed out the grips. Biggest thing I did was change out the seat, the stock seat on this thing, man. Believe the hype, it is god awful. I mean, if you want, you know, forget about using what's the term that we had going on with interrogation, enhanced interrogation techniques, man. Put a suspected terrorist on this bike for about 30 minutes, that joker will give you whatever the hell you want to hear. It was that bad, and it really dawned on me when we rode out the Murray's Inlet, coastal Indian, to get our bike serviced. That was about a little over a 2-hour ride, man, and holy shit. So, oh, I also changed the tires. Got rid of the stock Ken the Cruise tires and got Pirelli Night Dragons. Man, I wish they come up with a better name. Night Dragon, it's so dorky. But hey, it is what it is. Man, I really hope this ain't all that windy. I hate to ruin this, but it'll give me an idea of what it is I get to change. But anyway, but yeah, new tires. The tires helped a bit, to be quite honest with you, especially when going over bumps. I know that sounds stupid, but I felt the difference. There's a lot of train tracks in the area that I live in, and going over the train tracks, it felt like the Pirellis did a little bit of a better job. And it's windy out here, throwing me around. Did a better job of helping absorb some of the imperfections in the road. So, and then I made a point. I was like, you know what? I'm getting a Corbin. I know it's an expensive seat, man, but shit. We rode, my first real ride on it for distance was a couple weeks ago. The wife and I took about an 80-mile ride out, just out into the woods, out into the country. No particular destination in mind. We just got on the bike and rode. Gorgeous day, and man, I mean, I wasn't uncomfortable at all. At all, I wasn't uncomfortable. I'll do a more detailed review on that, on the seat as well. I mean, nothing was bothering me. I had no hot spots. My ass didn't hurt. My back didn't hurt. My tailbone section didn't hurt. I mean, I could have just kept going and going and going. And when it came, when it came to that stock seat, dude, 20, 30 minutes tops, it's over. You tapping out. You're taking a break. Oh, that's neutral. You ain't going very far in the end. So, but yeah, if you have a bobber and you're riding on that stock seat, I mean, comfort is subjective. It's all up to the individual. The same way like looks are, is all up to the individual. All that is subjective. But if you're uncomfortable on that stock seat, on any stock seat, I highly recommend looking at least into getting a Corbin. I mean, I don't know any better. This is my first ever bike. This is my first ever motorcycle seat. The gear that I'm wearing is the first ever gear I've ever bought, obviously. So I don't know any better. But if there's a better seat than this out there, damn, I'd hate to see how much it costs and how comfortable that joker is. Because this is a legit seat. think I'm too bad of a rider. I mean, of course I can improve. There's a lot of areas that I can improve on, but I don't think I'm awful. I'm very cautious. I don't like to put myself in situations that I think are outside of my skill level. I don't do group rides. I have not done a group ride, and I'm not sure if I'll ever do a group ride, because you just don't know who those people are, you know. And I ride within my skill level. My wife and I, we ride within our skill level. We remain alert. We don't put ourselves in bad situations. We don't do a whole lot of riding in heavy traffic. I mean, we have hit heavy traffic when we were coming back from South Carolina, from Myrtle Beach, excuse me. And that was an interesting experience. But, you know, it's all about just being careful. Cows, chilling, steak. Anyway. Like I said, you know, I'm relatively new. Anybody out there that's watching this video that feels that they can add something, like, hey, you know, you could try this, or, you know, I noticed when you were shifting this or that or the other, feel free to let me know, man. I'm open to any and all suggestions. And like I said, I have some plans for this channel. So if you're watching this video and I've piqued your interest, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button so that way you get notified when I upload videos. My wife is going to be a huge part of this channel, and we'll see where it goes from there. I'm going to end the video here because I've done enough rambling. I'm pretty sure you guys and gals have much more better things to do than to listen to me ramble on about nothing. But stay tuned, subscribe to the channel. I'll show you how I did the headset comm system, how I installed the seat, how I changed the grips on the bobber and keeping the stock bar and mirrors, because that's a killer look in my opinion. I like it. I didn't want to give up the bar ends, and so I had to modify the new grips and